Okay, this is a really weird video because I'm on my iPhone and I'm on holiday. Just want to say that I'm going to start learning CPR and I recommend everyone that's watching this video to learn CPR. No joke. It might be you one day, it might be a friend, it might be someone you don't know, it might be a stranger. But I've had some really crazy experiences in Mauritius the past week. Just yesterday, I was on my way with Safi and her family. We were going to this place where you can zip line and where you can ride quad bikes. That was an amazing experience. And then we went to this place, and our driver, which is Safi's uncle, we were behind a motorbike, like a motorbike, but like more of a scooter than a motorbike. And what ended up happening was, as I'm behind and watching the driver, because it's the same laws here in the UK with driving. They drive on the left, the steering wheel's on the right, but they drive on the left. And I'm watching this scooter in front of me, and he pretty much was to go overtake a car, but then the oncoming traffic, there was another car, and they met in the middle, and bang. And I was like, holy cow. So I said, pull over. So I jump out, and there's this little Indian man in a ball, shaking, and I look down, and his shoes come flying off, and his foot is bleeding, and there's so much blood, so much, and his foot's broken. And immediately there was like 10 other people that came around. They started calling the ambulance, and we had to leave because we had to continue. We were blocking the traffic. Crazy. And I wish I could have done something to help, but I didn't, and no one touched him. And I was wondering if there was maybe a position I put him in. Maybe I could stop the bleeding, but I had no idea. So we went along our way. And then something happened today. Now, in Mauritius, it's a lovely little island. It's beautiful. It's next to Madagascar. It's tiny. You can travel from the North Island to the south of the island in a space of 2 hours. And today I was at a place called Perry Bear. It's like a beach. So there's a beautiful beach in Perry Bear, and it's wonderful and gorgeous. And there's these lines in the water. There's these lines with these with bobbing balls, which you can't cross. If you cross them, your feet can no longer hit the bottom of the beach, and you now need to be a good swimmer. But behind the line, totally fine, because you can stay afloat and it's not that deep. So I'm there with Safi and her family, and I was talking to Safi's dad, and he's like, oh, look, there's commotion. And I'm like, holy cow. And I see a few people running and dragging someone out of the sea. And I was like, okay. So I ran over because I'm curious, and I won't lie to you, I'm the only, white person that's young here. And I haven't seen this before, and I want to see what the hell was going on. And I look like an idiot running over, because everyone was walking over, but I ran over because I was so curious. And a man's passed out. He's been dragged out of the water, and quite literally, he's not breathing. And I'm worried and I'm panicking. And there's like 10 people, and I think he's just laying on his back in his shorts. He's clearly gone for a swim, and what's happened was he's drowned. Someone's realised it, and they've dragged him back. And I'm watching, and now there's 20 people. Now there's 30 people. And first of all, I know for a fact, I kept my distance, but everybody else, all these people are like gathering around and staring, and there's no space. And there's some people that are saying, back up. And people are backing up for like a second, and then they instantly recollapse inwards. And I'm like, let the man breathe, And then what ended up happening was, finally, they're trying to resuscitate him. And I don't know CPR. And I wish I bloody did. And some people are looking at me, and I'm like looking like an idiot. Like, I don't know. Because I look like I should be educated, and I should know what I'm doing. I should be smart enough to resuscitate someone, but I'm not. I think people are looking at me in hopes that I would do something, because maybe being white, maybe they would think that I'm educated, but I'm not. I'm a bloody idiot. And so, because I'm not from these islands. And so because I look like a tourist, I look like I'm from abroad. Because this country, Mauritius, it's not the most educated. They average about 400 euros a month, their wage, full-time work. So their education isn't the best here. So I think when they're looking at me, they presumed that I knew what I was doing, which I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm standing there like a lemon, and I'm just seeing people giving the most poorest attempts at CPR. Now, admittedly, at least they attempted, but they're kind of like, gently. And I'm watching like, I don't think they're doing it right. And there's no, by the way, there's no lifeguards. There's none of that. There's no lifeguards in Perry Bear. There's no lifeguards. And so someone calls the ambulance. People are starting to panic. It's been a few minutes. And people are just taking turns, like gently doing his chest and slowly turning him on his side. He's dead weight. Full on dead weight, by the way. Really heavy. And at this moment, it's been 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm like, guys, what are we doing? This is a person. Why are we not speeding this up? So I walked back to Safi and I said, Safi, I think he's dying. And she's like, you're kidding. I think he's dying. So I wait 5 to 10 minutes and then I make my way back and I walk over. At this moment, this man who was, his skin color was brown. At this moment, he's turned white. He's white as these bed sheets. And I'm like, oh my God. And there I am. I'm just standing, watching. And this man is now dead. And I'm watching. And people are gathering around like he's still got a chance. No, that guy's dead. I think it's within 8 minutes, you die. If your brain doesn't receive oxygen within 8 minutes, you can either get brain damage or it's brain damage after that or you're dead. And people are just watching. People still think he's got a chance. Within a few minutes of me back being there and looking and staring, and I'm just in disbelief. I just feel so hopeless. A woman is over his body screaming and shouting and screaming. Like maybe it's his mum or his auntie or sister. And then finally the ambulance come. They don't do anything. They just look at it. They're staring at his body. And they finally, people moving on the brace. They pick him up and they take him around the corner. So I relax with Safi and I found half an hour. I come back and they're still there trying to resuscitate him after 1 hour. And eventually another ambulance comes and I'm watching. They've got this machine. They finally hook up a machine to him 1 hour later. An hour later, putting a resuscitate machine on him an hour later. That man is long gone. Long gone. And I was in disbelief. And they eventually, when the other ambulance came, they took one look and they realized he passed away. They got the sheet and put a sheet over his body to hide his face because it was disturbing, by the way, seeing a dead body. It's very disturbing. And people started to cry. I don't think people realized that the man was dead until the sheet was on his body. I knew he was dead 50 minutes ago. And all day, I've just been punching myself because I could have saved that person. I know I could have done if I just knew what I was doing. So I said to Safi, I witnessed a car crash yesterday. I could have helped the man. And I witnessed a man dying in front of me today and I could have saved him. That could have been me. I could have saved the man. I could have been that guy to step up. People looking at me like, are you going to do something? And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Nobody wanted to give this man mouth to mouth. I was willing to give this man mouth to mouth to save his life. But nobody else was. I know a woman came along and gave him like 2 little mouths to mouths and that was it. If I remember correctly, I think you just go, deep breath, breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in and again and hard. I think you're gonna go deep and hard and hard and hard and lean. And if you break his ribs, who the hell cares? Because a few broken ribs is better than being dead. And I said to Safi's dad, and I said to Safi, I'm just annoyed and I can't get over it. I'm upset because I could have saved his life. And I thought, I'm going to use my voice to tell my viewers what happened so you could learn from my mistakes. You don't want to be in that position, seeing someone die in front of you, where you're going to kick yourself at night, knowing you could have saved someone's life. My advice to my viewers is learn CPR. Learn the Heineck. Learn how to help people that are injured. Do a first aid course. Everyone should do a first aid course. It's just like a side quest. Just do it. Just do it. It might come in handy one day. Someone might be choking. Could be your kid. Could be your mother, brother, friend, random stranger. And I think to myself, how amazing would it have been if I saved this man's life today? How amazing. In a different universe somewhere, I saved that man's life. I stepped up, went straight in. I knew what I was doing. I was educated enough to know what I was doing. I saved his life. Everyone cheered. I became the local hero and people will respect me for it. And it was a good story to tell the viewers. But not in this universe. In this universe, I didn't do that. That's it. I just want to share the story. It was crazy. Please, my advice to everyone is learn CPR. Don't be like me. What a crazy day. Seeing that man pass away and die in front of me was one of the most saddest things I've ever seen in my life. I'm 32 years old and I've never seen that before. And even Safi's dad, who is from Mauritius, he's never seen that before ever. So, what a day. Learn CPR and that's it. Thanks for listening. I feel like crying. And near enough cried about 5 times today. I just haven't managed to push myself to break down. I'm trying to hold it together. That was someone's son. That was someone's friend.